the case of the increasing and diminishing returns.
Old Grumpy Hunter here. The image you are currently looking at is a representation of what can happen to speed, momentum, and kinetic energy when arrow weight is increased without making any other changes to your system. Currently, in the crossbow world, it appears that the only thing that matters is speed. After all, doubling the speed will quadruple the kinetic energy. Besides changing the bow's design, what else are they doing to get these blistering speeds? What is being lost with this race for speed? Arrow mass? Accuracy? Tight groups? Disable arrow flight? Limbs? As discussed in my other videos, kinetic energy, momentum, and penetration are all related to both mass and speed. Without breaking the bank, how can you make changes to your setup and improve kinetic energy, momentum, and penetration? You could make some adjustments to your bow to increase the speed, which will result in an increase in all three. We know that arrow speed is important in bow hunting, but no matter how fast your arrow is, it will not outrun the speed of sound. The deer, if it moves or not, will hear the sound of the shot before the arrow reaches it. Furthermore, due to their ability to hear sounds in ultra-high frequencies, they may hear the arrow in flight. Since we are using the crossbow for hunting, you most likely are not shooting at the crossbow's maximum speed. Don't be too concerned about that. There are benefits to be gained by shooting a heavier arrow more slowly that outweigh the benefits of increasing the speed. What are some of these benefits? More momentum, which results in more penetration. The more momentum an object has, the harder the object is to stop. More stability, better groups, less noise. Because the heavier arrow takes more energy to be launched, there is less energy being absorbed by the bow. Less energy being absorbed by the bow means less noise. Less stress on the bow. If it takes more energy to shoot a heavier arrow than a lighter one from the same bow, how can that result in less stress on the bow? Modern compound bows and crossbows have more than enough stored energy when the string is pulled back. That's what's needed to launch the arrow. When the string is released, the extra energy is absorbed by the bow's components. That absorbed energy stresses the components. More kinetic energy, or at least to a point. Short distance tracking or none at all. Some say the animal will run 20 yards max, and many times they just fall over. But how heavy is heavy enough? Heavy arrows are in the 600 to 700 grain range. The crossbow may have come with some arrows in its kit. Those arrows are most likely the minimum weight, if that are recommended by the manufacturer. But are they heavy enough? Let's say your crossbow came with 20-inch arrows weighing 435 grains, including 100 grain points, and shoots at 350 feet per second. I'll be using those values for the sake of this discussion. Without changing anything on your bow, you'll have about 1 foot per second change in speed for every 5 grains of change of arrow weight. You have to decide how much speed are you willing to give up to increase momentum and penetration. If you have a favorite arrow and don't want to switch, that's fine. There are ways to increase the arrow's weight without modifying the arrow itself. You can add a heavier pointer head. This is the most common and easiest way to add weight. Fill points and most broadheads are offered in multiple weights. Insert weights. Add these screw-on weights between the arrow's insert and the pointer head. One brand is available in 10, 20, and 50 grains. You can use more than one at a time with very little effort. You can change them out at the range. Washers. Up to 3 5-grain washers can be put behind the point. Weight tubes. These go inside the arrow. They can add 3, 5, or 8 grains per inch. Normally they are cut to the length of the arrow. Depending on where the mass is added, the FOC will increase. A little info on FOC. Front of center is the percentage of the arrow's total weight that is located in the front half of the arrow. The more weight that's located in the front half of the arrow, the more forward is the arrow's center of balance. Generally accepted that an arrow with a high FOC will be more stable during its flight. will cast off its trajectory quicker and do a nosedive. An arrow with a low FOC will hold its trajectory better, but can fly unpredictably. There's nothing that says you can't use more than one of the weight increasing methods stated before. In fact, you can use any combination of them. By changing from a 100 grain point to a 125 grain point, there will be a result in the initial speed going down 5 feet per second. The kinetic energy will increase, the momentum will increase, and the stress on the bow will go down. A 5 foot per second loss is not bad. Look at it this way. At 350 feet per second, it takes the arrow 0.26 seconds to go 30 yards. At 345 feet per second, it takes the arrow 0.27 seconds to do the same. That is a 0.01 second increase in flight time. Almost more importantly, the momentum went up. What if you increase the weight by 50 grains? The new speed would be 340 feet per second with the arrow weighing 485 grains now, but the speed only decreased by 2.86%. The new flight time is still below 0.28 seconds. What if you want to increase the weight by 50%, or 217.5 grains? That would be a total weight of 652.5 grains, and the new speed would be 306.5 feet per second. The flight time to 30 yards is 0.30 seconds. The momentum has increased by 31%, and the kinetic energy has increased by 15%. How are you going to get that arrow that weighs 435 grains to 600 to 700 grains? Using a goal of 650 grains, let's try to put one together. To get to 650 grains, there needs to be an additional 215 grains added. Just changing out the point of the head will not get you there. You recall that one of the weight tubes is 8 grains per inch. 20 inches would add 160 grains. A word of caution with weight tubes. They have to be tight inside the arrow or they will move and knock out the knot. The arrow now weighs 595 grains and the additional weight has been spread throughout the arrow. Our one change in the arrow is now within 5 grains of the low end of the 600 to 700 range. Changing out the 100 grain pointer head to one that weighs 125 grains, the arrow now is 620 grains. Adding one 20 grain insert weight to the front and 2 of the brass washers at 5 grains each, we have 650 grains. Of course, you want to confirm all this with a scale. Another way without changing the pointer head would be by adding an 8 grain per inch weight tube and 20 inches, a 50 grain insert, and one 5 grain washer. The 2 examples stated are just that, examples on how you could increase the mass of your arrow. There are countless other ways to add mass besides what's been mentioned here. Now that your arrow weighs 650 grains, its initial speed is now 307 feet per second. Looking at the other numbers, we see the arrow's weight has increased by 49.4%. Momentum is up 31.1%. Kinetic energy is up 15%, and the speed is dropped by 12.3%.
Old Grumpy Hunter here. This concludes the series on mass, velocity, kinetic energy, momentum, and penetration. I have beat this topic to death. I enjoyed making this series and enjoyed the discussions that followed each video. While doing this video, I made an online tool that is on my website for calculating what we just discussed. Also, I made a Windows-based program to do the same thing. Links will be in the video description. Thanks for watching this series, and I hope you have enjoyed them, laughed at them, and maybe learned something. Again, thanks for watching, and safe shooting.
Increasing the arrow's weight will not make up for a poor shot. Now, it is up to you to weigh the facts and see if the increasing returns is worth the diminishing returns.
Thank you for watching this Old Grumpy Hunter presentation. Please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to push the notification bell.